Hey folks, just wanted to make our first video to show you how we made this sign, and stay tuned till the end where we get to tell you how you could win one for yourself. Join us on McLaughlin Woodcraft.
So here we are over at our software. So what we use is a program called Easel. It's over at inventables.com, and it has been the go-to software choice for us in our little business here. It's an affordable product for us starting out in our sign making business, and it allows us to do a lot of what the $400 and $500 software options there are out there, although hopefully someday we will get into those. But for now, and for the signs that we do, this does more than enough for us. So here you see on the left is our workspace, on the right is a digital rendering of the sign that we are going to make today. And up here on the right you'll see the pine wood that we're using and the dimensions of the wood that we already have. So I've already plugged this all in, and I've put the bit that we're using. So what this allows us to do, as you'll see in a minute, is when we do our workspace over here, we can manipulate it and do whatever we want, and then it will have a real-time showing on the right here of what the sign's going to look like. And this also allows us, if I want to take a shot of this or a screenshot of this, I could send this to a customer, and they will say, I like this, I don't like this, change this, move this, all kinds of stuff. And we've done that a few times with customers, and that way they get the product that they want and removes any kind of guesswork, and we don't have to take stuff to the machine and cut it, and because that takes time. And so we get the product right digitally before we will ever take it to the machine. So this isn't an easel tutorial for those of you that may be on this video just to see kind of what or how to use easel. There's tons of stuff out there, which is why we actually use easel, because we found all kinds of resources online that allowed us to get up and running pretty quick. So let's get to making this sign. So what we do here is, again, this is the workspace, and I'm going to import the SVG file. And we got our SVG files. We've actually purchased all these. These are there's tons of free options out there, and also quote-unquote free options, meaning people have taken stuff that people have designed and put it on the internet. And we pay for everything that we use, and it just, people work hard to make these things, and they deserve to be paid for it. So down here we have all kinds of different ones that we're looking at doing, but this one right here is the one we're going to do. And boom, so here you can see it just plops it onto our workspace here. And again on the right here you'll see there's a rendering of it immediately as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to move it and kind of scale it up a bit. And you can see here on the right, it immediately gives you a real-time viewing of what we want to do. And I'm going to center it to my material. Very, very easy. Comes out looking nice. And one of the things, I don't know if this is going to show you or not, but look how deep those, like this here, this here, and this here. See, that's what, when you're making this small of a sign, you really don't want that, because at least as deep, because what happens is the bit, if you zoom in here, it's kind of hard to see, but when it makes that line, for example, it's going to not, or it's going to affect the next letter. These little gaps aren't going to be as defined on the sign, and you kind of need those. So all you do is you can go up here and you can change that and kind of make them a little bit less deep. That's still, for me, pretty deep, so I'm actually going to come way up here. And then it kind of makes them look a little bit more defined. Also, the smaller letters will come out looking a little bit better as well. And that's what we're going to do. So, and not only that, you could actually, in this program, not that we do it, but I'll simulate it, and then it'll actually kind of pretend to cut it. And it'll tell me exactly how long it'll take. So this sign, as is now, will take 1 hour and 58 minutes approximately. And if I really wanted to kind of see, is I can hit play, and you can actually see how the machine is actually going to cut the letters out. And I could speed that up to like 8 times, for example. And it'll show you the tool paths that it will do to make the sign, which I think is pretty cool. Don't need it in this instance though. So that's the software that we're going to use. Pretty straightforward stuff. And we're going to go and start getting this thing cut on the machine. See you over at the machine.
Okay, we're in the shop here. We're going to head over to the CNC machine here. I'm going to show you the setup, shop / garage, I might add. We'll talk about him in a second. So I got the piece of wood here. It's a piece of barn board, and we are going to use it to make the sign. So the CNC that we purchased was a long mill, which is from cnc.com. I'll post a link in the description below if you're interested in that. And again, so what happens is once we get it set up here, we're going to bring it up to our little computer. So again, so what I do down in the basement here at my desk is I'll do most of the designing there, and then I'll bring it up here, and I have a laptop hooked up to the machine here, and then this is what will drive the actual carving. And it'll come out onto that guy right there. So I'm going to actually try to do some kind of a time-lapse thing. I've never done it before. It may work, it may not. This may just skip to the sign is done. But I hope not. I hope you get to see a little bit of the carving. Yeah, we'll see how it turns out on the other side of the video. Well, you've seen how it's done, and my attempt at making a decent first YouTube video. Anyway, how can you win one? Well, what we're going to be doing is we're going to post this video, and since you've watched it, we're going to get people to like, comment, and subscribe. And what Leanne and I are going to do is we are going to choose at random 2 winners who will each win a completed version of the sign. There's a couple things we still have to do to the signs, clean up the lettering a little bit, and a couple of touch-up paint here and there, but for the most part they're done. And yeah, and then we'll get them off to you ASAP, free of charge. Get your Christmas season started. I know locally with this massive snowfall that we've just had in the Okanagan has stunned us all. Anyway, and one last message. Leanne and I are both first responders, and please take the time today to thank a first responder near you.
Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I've had a good time making it, and I look forward to making some more for you guys. Thank you.